Hi, I'm Raya, and this is Wondering About Wolves. Today, we're looking at the Wolves versus Southampton match review.
Yes, and it's a big win.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
It was a miracle for the first half. It was rubbish.
Yeah, a 2-1 victory at the St Mary's Stadium, and we're glad of it.
We won though.
Yeah, we're glad of it.
It
Takes us up to 30 points now, and we've leapfrogged Southampton. So, at the end of the day, we're grateful for the 3 points.
We're grateful. First on the agenda is the goals.
Okay, talk us through them then.
So first, Danny Ings scored. It was terrible defending from Wolves. Semedo stuck his leg out way too easy, and Armstrong got past him. And then Donker should have done more with the cross. He needed to squeeze. He was out there just like dangled his leg. Yeah. You need to do more than that. Yeah,
from a defensive point of view, disappointing. I mean, Armstrong got down the byline. The touchline way too easily.
Snyder just stuck his foot out. You need to do better than that.
I mean, he's obviously running at speed then. Is Traore's facing him up? And Semedo, for some reason, come and stand sort of level with Traore to give him an obvious gap to run into. And then just dangles out his left leg. You've got to get goal side. You've got to get facing the player. You can't get level with him to give him a room, a corridor to run into. So terrible from Semedo defensively. Yeah. And like you say, Dendonka could have got a yard tighter to try and squeeze down that cross to block it. So from our point of view, it was a disappointing goal to concede, and we 1-0 down again. So that makes it 15 games, 15 Premier League games since we got the first goal of the game. 15 Premier League games since we scored the first goal of the game. That's stupid, that is. That is one of the most stupid statistics.
But next, it's happy because Wolves scored. It's good.
Yeah, now we're getting a bit happier again,
Neves scored. It was a penalty. Actually, it was won by Semedo.
Yeah, so he did make up his error a little bit there.
Handball, wasn't it, from them?
From Bertrand,
He was turning, he wasn't facing the
smacked
ball.
against his arm. His arm was raised, but it's one of them I don't like to see. I don't like the handball rule at all. You know, I think it's a modern rule that's like many modern rules. I don't like it, and I prefer the old one. We just did intentional or unintentional handballs. But like you say, Semedo, you know, he at least was up there and he got a shot off, which was happening at the start of the second half. People was picking it up, and I was saying, well, have a shot. Yeah. And the first half we looked at to let fly. Second half was getting a couple of shots off early in the half, and one of them led to a penalty because it struck the arm of Bertrand. So then it was Neves who scored it.
Yeah, and then we scored the winning goal, Neto. He whipped it in the far corner.
He did,
it was very, very good. He was actually, it swerved.
Yeah, he bent it, with the inside of his left foot, back to the second goal, I just want to say more on Neves, because I think that's like 3 penalties in a row he's scored now, when he hadn't missed a couple, in previous years for us. He's looking confident from the penalty spot, Neves. Yeah. And he took that penalty beautifully again, watched the goalkeeper, waited for the movement, slot it the other way. So I just wanted to say that word for Neves, because it was another good penalty. Now, back to our winning goal. Brilliant from Neto. It was
a quick feet as well. Yeah. It was a one-on-one, and then he got round and...
Vestergaard faced him up 2 square, and then he shaped like he was going to cross it into the box.
And then
Vestergaard moved his body shape accordingly, and the quick feet of Neto was able to scurry past him, but then he's at an awkward angle, but being a left footer who was playing on the right in the second half, he was able to bend it with the inside of his left foot into the far corner. Brilliant goal, brilliant bit of individual skill, brilliant flair and technique from Neto, and a goal worthy of winning any game.
Yes. Next on the agenda is Dylan's Fact of the Day.
Matt Letizia suspiciously left the Channel Islands to join Southampton in the middle of a murder investigation by Bergerac.
Thanks, Dylan. Next on the agenda is the player ratings.
The player ratings? Yeah. Right, so tell us what you've given Rui Patricio then to start with.
Well, before we say that, I just want to say, in our preview, I got Nuno's team exactly right.
Oh!
And I predicted 2-1, and it was 2-1 to Wolves.
And I remember one of the goal scorers you predicted was
Neto.
Neto. So
that was right.
You said it was going to be 2-1, and it was.
It was.
You said Neto would get one of the goals, and he did. And you predicted the exact correct team that Nuno played.
Exact same.
Well done to you. Well done, Ryan.
Yeah. So first, anyway, on player ratings, Patricio, I gave him an 8.
Okay.
He was very good. He was both halves. He
was one of the few players who you could say played well both halves of the game.
2 or 3 saves were excellent, and especially one of them where he just reached it.
Yeah, turned it round the post.
That was going
in the first half. I think that one was one when he dived and just got his fingertips to turned it round the post.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patricio, good. He came and caught a corner as well.
And he did a double save.
A good double save, yeah.
And he was brave and came.
Yeah, he saved the first one. They got on the rebound, but he came and smothered that as well. I think that was offside, the rebound effort. But he didn't know that. He didn't know that.
Just saved
he had to come and save it. Yeah, so very good display from Rui Patricio.
Yeah, Semedo, a 6. He was to blame for the first goal, but then he won the
penalty. Yeah, that made up for a bit.
And then he was good
second half he was better. Yeah. First half, poor.
Like most of the players were rubbish.
And that goal, the way he defended for that goal, the way Armstrong went past him, you could have had an 80-year-old woman there that'd have put more effort at winning the bloody tackle and that. He just went past him way too easily for the goal, which really annoyed me. Just dangling a left leg out, his body position and just when he was on the pitch compared to the player who had the ball was all wrong. But second half he did improve, won us the penalty, so 6 out of 10 overall.
Next then Doncat, a 6. His passing's negative and he should have done better with the cross. With his passes just side, back.
There was one instance in the first half in particular when the ball was played across to him on the right side of the back three. And there was a big gap in front of him. If he'd just used the outside of his foot to turn with the ball, he could have travelled with it and picked a pass. We said, just passed it back to Cody. Use the space. Let's try and get on the front foot. We're so passive in that first half. So passive in our use of the ball. Such a slow tempo. And Dendonker's one of the culprits for that. And he should have closed down that cross better. Should have got a yard tighter to block the cross. Better second half, like everybody was. Yeah. So 6 out of 10 overall, yeah.
Next, Cody, a 7. I think he was steady. He had a decent game.
Yeah.
He was
all right, Cody,
first half.
Yeah, he put a couple of decent passes out as well, spraying it. Not loads, not an abundance of them, but there's a couple of decent passes he put out. And overall, I think a 7 out of 10 is a fair reflection of his display, a steady performance.
Next, Sace, he was booked as well.
He was
booked.
But
that bell was not
that was annoying.
Booking.
That was just because his stud showed a little bit.
I know.
The guy's sliding. If anybody who's played football knows, if you're sliding, sometimes your foot raises a little bit. You can't help it with the angle you're sliding at. You can't always keep your foot flat, depending on the angle you're sliding. Now, he's gone through there and he's won the ball. He even touched the bloke. So because his studs was off the ground by that much a little bit, his foot come up, foul. He's won the ball. That should have even been a booking. No booking there.
His rating, I gave a 7. The same as Cody, he was steady.
Yeah, very similar display to Cody. I think he a steady performance, and a 7 out of 10 is a fair grade for Sace.
Next, Johnny, he went off. He played longer today, like 65 minutes, didn't he?
Yes, he gave him longer on the pitch today, didn't he?
I gave him a 7. Continuing his comeback.
Yeah, continuing his good performances from his comeback. He's been steady ever since he come back in, hasn't he? He's looked like he ain't missed a week, never mind months and months. He did have an ice pack on his knee when he came off, but Nuno told us after the game.
He's fine. We just want to make sure he's okay and he stays with us.
Yeah, there's no serious issue there.
Yeah. Next, Martinho, I gave him a 7. He had some good deliveries off corners and free kicks. He's better than usual.
Yeah, better today. Well, his free kicks and corners. He put some good balls in, particularly one I remember in the second half. He dropped right on the 6-yard box and they had to bend the racket once he got to it to clear it away. But it's such an inviting, dangerous ball that somebody should be getting the end of. Corners and free kicks better today. Second half, a lot better like everybody else. First half, too slow in his tempo of passing, too slow in his pressing when we haven't got the ball. But second half, like everybody really, upped the tempo. And so better second half performance from Martinho. Decent deliveries today, like you say, from free kicks and corners, so 7. Yeah.
Next, Neves, an 8. He scored and and he helped raise the tempo in the second half. It was very good, I think.
A good penalty. And I think he was one of the chief reasons in the second half. He was really snapping at people and trying to close things down more.
And if we didn't have the ball, he was hunting it.
Yeah, hunt the ball down. Hunt it down with speed and purpose. Don't be so passive and letting people have the ball. They did it to us first half. First half, they did it to us. When we had the ball, they were snapping at us, and they kept winning the ball, and that tempo was too slow, with and without the ball. Second half, Neves, one of the chief people in our team who upped that tempo by moving the ball quicker, not so slow, moving the ball quicker, moving the ball forward, not going backwards, and hunting the ball down when we haven't got it. So, I think Neves deserves his 8, especially for his very good penalty again.
Next, Traore, a 7. He improved loads second half.
Dramatically.
Very bad first half.
Dramatic improvement.
Yeah, dramatic improvement.
First half, rubbish.
Yeah, but
rubbish.
Second half he was dribbling and using his pace.
Yeah, taking people on. Causing a lot of problems. Picking up the ball in better areas of the pitch, which was thanks to Nuno's tactical change.
Yeah.
He switched Traore and Neto. At half time he switched them. So you had Neves, who's a left footer, playing on the right. Neto, who's a left footer, playing on the right, and Traore, who's a right footer, playing on the left. Now the reason he did that was because the first half they were so isolated out on the wings, and they was easily double or triple teamed by the Southampton players. They was getting nowhere. So by switching the sides, they naturally come in field more. So you got a left footer who wants to play with his left foot. That brings him to the inside of the pitch to get closer to the striker. Adam's a right footer playing on the left. Because he's right-footed, he naturally drifts inside if he's playing on the left. So what you're doing is you're getting 3 bodies closer together to support Jose. You've got Neto closer to him, you've got Adama closer to him, and therefore it gave us more joy in that middle area of the pitch. It was able to get the ball and feed it into Neto, and those bodies around he could link with and pass to, and he wasn't isolated. And the same for Traore, picking up balls in dangerous areas, and Southampton couldn't deal with that with the introverted wingers. They couldn't deal with it.
Next, Jose, a 5. He went off, but he was not contributing.
No.
Sorry,
a quiet game.
Yeah, he was quiet. You didn't see much of him, did you?
He was one of our more disappointing performers today. Very quiet first half. He did improve a bit in the second half, and he did get involved a bit more and contribute more in the second half, but still not greatly.
Yeah, it wasn't greatly. But as you said, he did get better.
A slight improvement second half.
A slight, next, Neto. He went off at the very, very end, but he's my man of the match.
Okay.
I've gave him man of the match a few times.
You like Neto, don't you?
Yeah, he's always had bright spot.
Yeah.
He had an amazing goal. As we've already talked about it.
Match-winning goal, brilliant goal. And second half, like Traore, him and Traore were the catalysts.
Yeah, taking people on and creating
picking
chances.
the ball up in areas of the pitch that Southampton found difficult to defend. That was a big change in our tactics. Picking that ball up in areas that they struggled to defend, rather than out there where they've got 2 or 3 bodies and he was isolated.
He was our main threat.
He was our main threat. So I think he deserves man of the match. The match-winning goal was brilliant. And second half, he was one of the main catalysts who helped us turn that performance around.
And then for subs, Marcel, a 7. A good return, but every time he plays, he always gets injured. Well,
I think he was all right this time. I don't see him get injured this time, so hopefully he's back for a while now, because he's a good, steady, solid defender. Is Marcel.
Our other left wing backs always a pushing forwards, but he's more defensive, solid.
Yeah, Johnny is solid as well, but he can get forward. Now, Marcel's in the tradition of an old left back in a back 4, but he's a good, solid, reliable defender, and he's a seasoned pro. He's an old head, and we need that sometimes. We've got so many kids knocking about from the playground. We need a few blokes in there who've played at this level and understand the ins and outs of the game, and they are so inexperienced. And Marcel is a good option. He's a good player, good left foot, tidy in possession. So it's good to see him back.
Next, Silva, a 5. You didn't see a lot of him.
He was on maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, he wasn't on that long, but
one time there was a ball over the top when he was dead level with our defender. The ball dropped in front of him, so it's a foot race. And you know he ain't going to win it. He ain't going to win it. He's got no pace. And he's running against the centre half here in Benderak. He ain't running against Linford Christie. All it is a one-on-one foot race. And Benderak is not quick. And he was able to easily outrun Silva, so he's got to improve on his explosiveness.
Silva's got long legs as well. He should be able to.
He's got to improve on his explosiveness. He's got to be able to improve on his physicality. He needs to work with some sort of sprinting coach to get him some more acceleration. There's so much to work on in terms of his physical development. Today, when he came on again, like you say, didn't see a lot of him.
Yeah, and that's Kilman a 5. He was barely on the pitch.
Yeah, you can't give him a lot. He's only on it like 5 minutes, like in injury time, just added time at the end of the game. He came on for.
Yeah.
He kicked the ball out of play once when he had possession of it, but like at least they give it away, just put it in the stands. But you can't give anybody much when they're on it, on the pitch for a few minutes. So fair enough with that. What's next on the agenda?
It's the general performance.
Okay.
Well, first half, I think we all know it's going to be a very bad score.
Yeah.
I gave a 3. Rubbish. No attacking threat. We was inviting pressure.
Yeah, we were so passive, and this is what I keep talking about. We're so reluctant to get on the front foot, to go at people, to be aggressive in our pressing. Let's go press them. We sit and we let them have it. When we get it, people are closing us down, they're winning the ball.
And it could have been 2-0 down, couldn't it, first half?
Oh, God. Yeah, Patricia made a couple of good saves. We conceded a goal. Everybody was rubbish first half. Yeah. People was picking the ball up and losing it. Patricia was good.
His outfield players.
The outfield players. The tempo when we had the ball, way too slow. The tempo when we didn't have the ball and we needed to close down, way too slow. Not winning enough physical duels, not winning enough aerial battles. Rubbish. Everything was rubbish. But then, second half, a complete transformation. What did you give the second half?
I gave a 9.
A 9, yeah.
The best score, I think I've ever got. But the first half...
Yeah, but let's talk about the second half now. We've talked about the first half.
But it was excellent. We was on the front foot. We was ambitious. We scored 2 goals. Yeah. We was very, very good second half.
Yeah, the introverted wingers helped a lot because Southampton couldn't deal with them in the same way they was dealing with them when they were stuck out wide in the first half. Yeah. The tempo's a massive change. The tempo you play with the ball, moving it quicker and playing forward passes, and the tempo without the ball in terms of hunting it down and not being passive and letting them keep the ball. You're trying to, if they get the ball, you hunt it down, you try and win the ball as quick as you can. The nearest man, close down. So that was a massive, massive improvement in the second half.
And then we was actually having chances.
Yeah, and we was winning the ball high up the pitch.
We was ambitious.
We was winning the ball high up the pitch. It wasn't by our own penalty area the time we got tackling. The first half, by the time anybody won the ball, it was in our own penalty area. We was winning the ball higher up the pitch. You win it higher up the pitch, you're automatically on the front foot. So the big change in tempo second half and a brilliant second half performance. A complete contrast to the first. Last season, I told you in the preview, we went to Southampton, we was rubbish the first half and was 2-0 down. We was brilliant in the second half and won 3-2. The game today played out exactly the same. The first half, it was absolutely rubbish, 1-0 down. Second half, tremendous improvement and won the game 2-1. So really a very similar performance to last season at Southampton.
Overall, a 7. It was a game of 2 halves, wasn't it, for us?
Yeah, it was, because...
We was awful first and brilliant second.
Yeah, so a 7's fair because you've got to find the middle ground. Yes, there was 9 out of 10 brilliant second half, but they were so bad in the first half, you've got to find the middle ground and give it a 7 overall. Yeah. I mean, if they'd have played decently the first half, if they could have just been 6 out of 10 the first half, they'd be getting an 8 or a 9 for their overall performance. So bad in the first half that you have to even it out at a 7 because they're so good in the second, so bad in the first, meet in the middle for a 7 out of 10 overall. Yeah, fair enough.
Now, next on the agenda is just to sign off.
Okay, sign off. Where you go then?
So make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on the game. And make sure you join us next time. And we've got a new special video.
A special new video?
Yeah.
What's this new video then?
Well, it's a secret. It'll be coming out in a day or so.
A day or... A new video.
Yeah, it's going to be
in a day or so. A special surprise video. Yes. A new type of... I'm very excited. I can't wait to see it.
Yes.